Hey, what's going on? Doing this a bit unscripted just to talk about the recent side story in Epic 7, Elegy for a Flame, aka the Aki story. I'm just going to give my 2 cents on it. Haven't really done this before, so we'll see how this goes. So, as far as the whole story of Epic 7 goes lately, I have been really impressed with how the direction has gone. As far as the overall episodes go, from episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the main stories, episode 1's pretty like whatever. Episode 2, really, really, really good. Episode 3 kind of drops off. 4 wasn't exactly my favorite. 5 kind of was strong. And then, like, I was kind of curious how it would go from there. And the recent episodes that they've released, like the episode that was the sixth world, that was really good. The Freerin collab side story that kind of tied together the sixth world to the seventh world was really strong. So with this one, with the Aki story coming out, it really kind of made me curious on how they would build upon that and improve it, especially with a character such as Aki that has been touched upon in previous stories, such as the arena story, and even popping up in other air stories like Bildred's and Ross's and so on. So to really like get into things without spoiling a lot of it, as far as my like whole general aspect on the thing is, let me start off and go ahead and say that the overall cast of the characters for the side story pretty strong, awesome characters all around. You've got Aki, who's the sole surviving heir of the fifth world. He's seen it all, been through all. He's seen the destructions of Orbis. He knows what's been happening, and he's kind of just like, without making a pun, a flickering flame that's kind of just wanting to just ride it out. I guess, kind of just sick and tired of all the grief, the agony, and stuff. Then you've got this version of Dien, which unlike the sixth world Dien that was a sister of the Blue Cross, and eventually Queen Dien in the seventh world, she's more or less the shepherd girl, daughter of two shepherds in a way, way far off city in Britannia, little town village that's susceptible to bandit raids and animal attacks and things like that. And she stumbles across, of course, the iteration of Noyas, the spirit lord, who's disguised as a wolf, and that kind of sets this whole plot in motion. But like I said, I don't want to get into any spoilers. I highly recommend that you guys go back, listen, watch, react to it. Like, I know that most people just play gacha games and stuff for like, oh, I just want to be a collector, I just want to be a casual, I don't really care about the story, I just hit clip, I just hit skip. I cannot recommend the story enough. From all the different things and all the different events that transpire, and as the story progresses and stuff, that you know that there's something that's not right, and how the NPCs react to DN, from how they're like, oh, everything's all okay and all hunky dory and whatnot, to, oh no, here's Hakati that goes ahead and rips the rips the shadows off and reveals everything, and you're just like, whoa, okay, wasn't expecting that. But you got the other heroes and stuff like that. You've got more stuff from like Isaria, who's in this fifth world the wielder of Elbrus ritual sword, and that's pretty much where the point she's completely shattering, her entire body is breaking apart like glass. So you hear her like talking this like worn out, almost raspy like voice, where she's like almost exhausted because the sword's drawing upon all the power that she's holding from wielding it. And you've got more versions of Saria. She was recently released back in November, so everything's been kind of like, how would they really build upon Saria? So you get more from her. And that brings us to Akadi, who, of course, Sigurd Scythe, been in the game for a very long time, very go-to artifact for a lot of warriors, such as Ravi, Ken, and so on, that we were all like, okay, how are we going to go ahead and get her in the story? Where is she going to go ahead and fit into the whole world of Orbis? And to have her be like from Tartarus and how it's with Policia and stuff like that, with how this was from Paradia and stuff like that. And these other worlds, you got like Orbis and Rekos and Paradia and all the others. Like, there's a whole overarching world that is set up with how they are going ahead and going back to how the world of Orbis was. And I can't go ahead and stress enough how much I am curious to see where they build upon this with the 6th episode coming out in, I believe, February. Like I said in the beginning, I was not a fan of how episode 4 went. Episode 4, for the Auden, Teiyu, and whatever story, the writing was just all over the map. And episode 5 kind of like tried its best to like pull things together and whatnot, but of course Ross wasn't involved. It was more situated around Ran and the Slayers such as Veronica and Amiki and them. And you're following those two different groups, and it's like, okay, well, Epic 7's always been about Ross and the world of Orbis and how it interacts and stuff, and now it kind of reveals that this is what Ross was doing while episode 5 was going and taking place. But if I had to pick like a standout scene, it's probably the end with how Aki ends up exhausting his limit and his life force to go ahead and pretty much set in motions what would be the events of the final part of the 5th world, and which would eventually be the start of the 6th world, and then the eventual 7th world, and how the events transpire for that. But like I said, this was more or less just unscripted, kind of just going ahead, pointing out my points of what I like and dislike about Elegy of a Dying Flame. I mean, I don't really have many dislikes, if anything. Like, it's a little bit of a jarring thing, and just there's like a couple of things and whatnot. And they do touch on stuff more with Hikate's side story, and they give and tell a little bit more about her direction and stuff and how things are going. So I wonder if they're going to do the same with Aki's side with another version of Aki's side story. Like, they usually have the characters and the character banners and the character episodes come out. So unless this was Aki's like side story and focus, if they end up doing that where there's a little bit more to it, I'd be more curious to see how much they want to build up on it. Maybe introduce like his interactions with Vilder and stuff or whatever. But overall, highly recommend this. Please, please, please go out, watch, listen to the Elegy of a Dying Flame. You will not regret it. Thank you for this one. I'll catch you guys in the flip side. Peace out.